Hey there, welcome. It's Monday morning, March 22nd, 2021. My name is Les Solgrove. This is Simply Des Moines 15-minute market update. We got a lot on the show for the show today, so let's get rolling right away here. Homes for sale, you're going to notice we're down 50 again this week. We're going still downward on a downward trend, adding homes for sale. We're almost in record territory. In fact, that's kind of the theme of this week's show is records. So we'll talk about all this in a minute here. Months of inventory is down to 1.1 months, so about 30 days worth of homes for sale. Unless we get more homes on the market, we will run out. And we are still getting homes on the market, but boy, they aren't coming on very fast. Another record that we're getting close to is the sale pendings. We're up 98 from last week at 3366. But man, there's some big news coming on that front here. Let's jump right in here to the next slide here. So the top story this week, there's a couple items here in the top story. Number one, this is the week that the opens closed. So what you see here is a graph showing open house traffic, well, not traffic, at the actual count of open houses in 2020. And you notice that large dip there around week 11 or week 12 here. So next week was the week that the open houses pretty much stopped. That's the week the governor said, let's kind of try to shelter in place and try to just kind of hold our own and see if we can't kick this coronavirus before it gets too bad. And we actually went on week 15. You can see we actually had just 100 homes total open that weekend, and most of those were new construction. This really brought on this downward trend that we've seen all year long, and that trend has continued. In fact, week 11 of this year, this is what I call the last week of the last normal week of open houses from last year to this year. And right now we're comparing a lot of our open house traffic to last year, and it's like double digit 50-60% differences. This is the last week that we'll see those kind of that kind of a spread, because you can see here as of next week we'll be right down here with what had happened with COVID-19, where our open houses have really dropped off. So that's something we'll watch next week. The weekly count, this is also something we've been kind of watching for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and the question continually is, when will the sellers enter the marketplace? And here we are, week 11. We were thinking that we would see more homes come on the market, and at 216 homes, that's well below what we should have had come on the market this week. So we're still, this is just big news that we're still down in our homes for sale coming on the market. But hold on to your socks. This shows you, look at this far right graphic here. 753 homes went under contract this past week. That's over double what we did the previous week. In fact, it's probably double, if I can do quick math, almost double. Yeah, it is more than double what we did in both week 9 and 10 added together. So, how we continue to find homes for buyers is going to be really, really hard if we don't start getting more homes on the market. But you can see that buyers are still out, just the sellers are not coming out. So the week in review, zip through this as well. 216 homes added this past week, which we talked about. Our price increases are kind of holding steady this week. Not a whole lot of builder price increases this week. There's our accepted offers, 753. That's 432 over the same period last year. So, man, that's just crazy. Back on market is respectable now. It's under 10%. It's at 7% of homes that are under contract are back on the market. I would suspect that with 753 going on, sale pending this past week, we're going to see that probably rise as those 753 start to go through the inspection period and the appraisal process. So at 2,517 closed sales, we're halfway to another milestone of hitting the 33,000 mark. And I would expect with the pace that we're going that we will see that possibly before the end of the month, if not shortly after the end of March and in the 1st of April there. So as I mentioned earlier, the open house traffic, you see we're at 96 resale opens open houses this weekend, which is 68% less than a year ago. 379 is about half. Next week, these numbers are going to be really, really close to what we did last year. In fact, we might even actually have more homes open for the first time year over year starting next week, because that's when all that open house stuff kind of stopped there. So this week's spotlight, this is really kind of a geek show today. So if you're really into graphics and stats and charts, this one is going to really get you excited. If not, come back next week and we'll kind of tone it down a little bit. But I always like to show this every once in a while. This is the showing time report produced by the Moines Area Association of Realtors. And what this shows you is the traffic or the activity, I should say, of showings. And the orange line there that you're seeing is this year's showing activity compared to the first of the year. So we're about 25% up over the first of the year, which is really odd because we're selling the heck out of everything. It just must mean that whatever's being shown is being sold, which kind of makes sense. But if you see the dark line there, that's where COVID hit. And it's just kind of unique here that this is the week where everything kind of, fell from the sky last week. And we're really kind of on track with 2019's showing activity. And I think we're going to kind of see that. So, but you can certainly see there in that dark line where showing activity trailed off there and slowly started to build back up until about mid to late April, when it kind of picked back up again. So we talked last week, or I promised you last week, we'd revisit the inverted market and also talk about some upcoming records here. So what the inverted market graphic here shows you is the split between the number of homes under contract, which is the orange line, and the green solid line is the number of homes currently for sale. And then the line in kind of dashed format behind and grayed out a little bit, that's where we were last year. And about June, we actually went into this inverted market where we had more homes in sale pending than we had for active. And we really have never gotten out of that. We kind of came close you can see at the end of the year, it just kind of touched, and then it went right back into this inverted market. So as of yesterday, Sunday, we're at 3,366 homes under contract and 1,762 homes currently for sale. And you go, okay, well, that's great, but how does that compare to our records here? Well, at 3,366, we're only 243 away from our record high sale pendings at 3,609 that we hit back in July of last year. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to hit that. We're going to hit that probably in April. And the question is going to be is how far over that 3,600 are we going to go? Will we break 4,000 homes in the sale pending bucket? It's going to be really interesting to see, but at the pace we're going here, look at that orange line, or that it's definitely on an upward trend. At 1,762, we're only 20 homes for sale away from hitting our record low. And this is just going to probably continue to go down as well, even in the spring market. As we get into the next couple of graphics, you're going to see some methods that I'm using to kind of track this. In fact, let's take a quick peek at this here. So this is kind of a look behind the curtain. This is not something that I would publish on a website or publish on Facebook or social media, because it's to me, even it's a little bit overwhelming, but this gives you an idea of the data that I'm collecting. And I'm actually a data miner. I'm not a statistician. I'm more of a data miner. I go out there and I pull the data and I kind of put it together. And what I want to do is kind of watch it and see, what's moving, what's happening up and down, and where the records are. And so I've put this little spreadsheet together for myself, and it kind of lets me at an instant glance look at where the record areas are. And you can see I'm watching, whether we're above or below record levels on homes for sale, and same thing with pending sales and list pricing and sale pricing and year-to-date closed sales. So let's just kind of jump in just a little bit closer on a couple of these. I'm not going to dig too deep because it is, like I say, very overwhelming at some point. But this graphic will kind of shows you here, this graph right here, or this line right here, shows you our for sale inventory broken down. Now, total as of yesterday, there were 1,762 homes for sale. of which 572 are single-family resale. Look at this, guys. This is 2020. This same day a year ago, we had 1,858 homes for sale. We're down 69%, or over 1,200, almost 1,300 homes, single-family resale homes alone, shorter than where we were a year ago. So you're wondering why buyers are out there frustrated. This is exactly it. We've talked about these numbers before. Across the way here, you can see the record low that we ever had on count was 519, and we're only 53 away from that. The record high we've ever had was 2,621. I should say record high ever. That's just since 2019. This is these go from 2019. All properties go back to 2009, just so that we kind of keep it in the same time frames here. But condo townhome resales, you can see at 135, we're one home short. We have one more home on the market than we would have if we had 134. We would be in record territory. And this is very possible that tomorrow one of those homes will be turned in as sale pending, and we won't have new homes coming in to replace that. So we could very well be in record territory again. This would be considered a milestone or a record here at 134. We're currently in record territory here with single-family new construction and condo townhome new construction. This one's very impressive as well. Look at this, 1,053 single-family new construction homes are currently in the sale pending status, where a year ago they were at 491. So more than double the number of homes in new construction are in pending. Also, almost 2/3 more of the condo townhome new construction. So there was our records. We're currently in record territory for those, and they'll stay in that for some time, especially the new construction, just because of the vast difference between the numbers there. On the year-to-date closed sales, this one is especially interesting when you start to look at this. Again, this is 2,517 homes closed year-to-date, all closed homes year-to-date, and we were at 2,181 a year ago. Even with our low inventory, we are still 15% ahead of last year and almost 15.3% closer to hitting the same number we did last year already. And that's just amazing that we're actually in this kind of a pace of a market here. Months of inventory is currently at record low levels. It won't be long, and we should be in record low levels of months of inventory in all the categories. You can see we're at 1.1 months. I think I mentioned that earlier, of all properties, less than a month in both the single family and condo townhome resale properties. And we're very, very close to breaking into record lows for the new construction. So, man, I tell you, it's just been quite a market that we've been in. So the reason I watch these things, and the things that I'm watching for, is I'm looking for records, and I'm also looking for milestones. The records I'm looking for is, what's for sale, the counts in the for sale, the pendings, year-to-date closed sale counts, also pricing, median list price, median sale prices, how many homes are accepted, how many offers are accepted in a 30-day period. That tells me where our month of inventory levels are going to go and days on the market. The milestones, what I'm really looking for there is this one's the one that helps me and helps us all kind of predict what's going to happen. It shows the pace of the market, the trending activity, allows us to do some forecasting and predictions, and then we can also do some analyzing with unit and percentage sales and how we're doing compared to COVID and pre-COVID market activity. All of this data is all broken down, and that I present to you is broken down not only by all properties, but it's also broken down by new, resale, single family, and townhome, condo townhome. So if you ever get a graphic or a statistic you're interested in, and you trying to figure out how to do it, give me a call. I can probably help you do that, or I can at least maybe add it to what I'm doing here. I've got enough data now that I can probably start to recreate some of that. So next week, come back. If this was too geeky for you this week, come back next week. We're going to talk a little bit about market value appreciation and try to answer the question, are prices rising too fast? I'll be talking hopefully to an appraiser or two this week, and maybe just kind of get a feel for how we're doing with appraisals. I'd be interested, in the marketplace to hear if we're experiencing low appraisals at this point. I'm starting to see a few, but anyway, that's next week. I appreciate your time this week. It's been 15 minutes. My name is Les Solgrove. Thanks again for coming, and we'll see you all again next Monday.